Shalom everybody, Rabbi Edelstein here with this week's installment of Rabbi E in 3D, brought to you as always by MEOR DC, and it's great to be here. I missed last week. You might know or might not know that I do a podcast called Rabbi E in 3. That's audio. This is obviously visual. My most recent podcast, which I'll include the link to if you haven't listened to it yet, is about cicadas. This video today is about fish. No, I don't have a secret desire to become a zoologist or to compete with someone famous called the Zoo Rabbi. It just so happens that in the podcast, I'm talking about the cicadas and their song and being people who sing of the greatness of this world, the beauty of this world. And I am inspired by the cicadas and their sound and their flying around. I think it's really cool. But in this week's Rabbi E in 3D right here, I'm lamenting our desire for free fish. Let me explain. In order to be able to sing of great things like Hashem's world and of our greatness as human beings and our great potential and the beautiful Torah and mitzvot that God has given us, in order to be able to sing, we have to get beyond the free fish mentality. If we want to sing about cicadas, get rid of free fish. What am I talking about? The Torah portion this week is Beha'aloscha in the book of Numbers, Bamidbar, and it's a very beautiful portion that resonates with me, particularly the teaching that I'm sharing with you now about free fish. What's going on? The Jewish people are ready to go into the land of Israel, the promised land. They have the Torah, they have the tabernacle, the Mishkan. They have their marching orders from Hashem, and they're being led quickly in the desert by day with a pillar of a cloud leading the way, and by night a pillar of fire, and everything's primed for success. But then they start remembering and crying for free fish. What am I talking about? So the Jewish people, as is expected, I'm not judging our ancestors, I'm sure I would have done much worse, but the rigors of the journey in the desert, which was Hashem was just bringing them quickly into the land of Israel, but they got in a mood and a mode of complaining and getting discouraged and distressed, and the lack of variety in their menu. They were being fed in a miraculous food called manna, man, but they found it monotonous, ha ha ha. So what did they do? They started to cry and to complain, and it says the following. Who will feed us meat? The Jewish people said. We remember the fish that we ate in Egypt, chinam, free of charge. The cucumbers, melons, leeks, onions, and garlic. But now our life is parched. All we have is manna. That's all we see. They remembered the fish they ate in Egypt free of charge. What are they talking about? The great commentary Rashi quotes a rabbinic teaching that points out the Egyptians gave the Jewish people nothing free. At the end of their cruel enslavement, straw, which was the main component of the bricks they had to make in enormous quantities, was held back from them. They didn't get straw for free. They got fish for free? What does it mean they remembered the fish? Now, garlic, onions, leeks, okay, hey, good food back in Egypt. But the fish was free of charge? Rashi says an amazing thing, quoting the rabbis. Chinam min ha-mitzvot. Free of mitzvot, of commandments. You listen to this is how deep and true the Torah is, speaking to us, our lower selves, my lower self, right? They complained outwardly about food, the lack of variety of the food and other things, but what was going on inside of them was the difficulty in accepting the responsibility of doing the commandments. The same commandments, the same Torah that they'd accepted enthusiastically just weeks before at Mount Sinai and said, Na'aseh v'nishma, we want to do it. But now, when the going got tough in the desert, again, I'm not judging them, they said, we remember the fish we ate without having to worry about doing mitzvot commandments. The fish in Egypt, they were enslaved to an extent beyond imagination, but they were free of the obligation of serving Hashem and doing the commandments. It's an unbelievable teaching here that awakens us to ourselves, that we have to always be aware of and always try to transcend that lower self that cries out for free fish. In other words, that right, that doesn't grab on to the beauty of the Torah and its commandments, but really we can apply it to anything meaningful in life requires effort. We know that a fisherman himself is not going to get many fish to give away for free or to sell if he's sitting on his couch just, drinking beer all day, and that doesn't happen. You have to exert yourself. You have to rise above the lower self, show a little resilience. I'm laughing and talking to myself because I'm not an expert in this area. Believe you me, I have a lot of work to do, but we have to show resilience and strength and realize that if something is meaningful, it requires work. It's not a burden, the mitzvot, the commandment. Shabbos is coming up, and I'm going to, the timer's there, and I'm really going to listen to it and get off in a second. Shabbos or other commandments take effort. You have to get up off the couch, put down the beer for a second. You can make wine, have kiddush wine in a few minutes, but the mitzvot take effort, but the payoff is spiritual growth, vitality, meaning in life. And again, it's true not just in the spiritual realm, in the realm of Torah, in anything. The free fish mentality of, and here in a ridiculous way, they get nostalgic about the good old days in Egypt, just because it's difficult now in the desert, accepting the new role and responsibility of being a holy people, to be a light to the nations. That's our constant battle. We have the tools to always transcend ourselves. The Torah gives us tools and strength. And with podcasts about cicadas or other great podcasts out there, we can nourish ourselves and inspire ourselves to not give in to the free fish mentality, which is really an illusion anyway. We're only happy as human beings when we're striving and doing and accomplishing. And it's not that the Torah is so hard, but it takes effort. It takes work. It takes consistency. It takes a desire to strive for greatness and not just fall back into the constricted consciousness, which we do sometimes in difficult times, and we can get through it, as the Jewish people do. They get through it, and they succeed. We can succeed. Have a wonderful Shabbos. Free fish. Forget about it. Go out and buy some good fish for Shabbos and some good kiddush and some good challah, and have a wonderful, beautiful day with that attitude of resilience and rising above our lower selves. It's always there, but we can transcend, we can elevate and bring up that lower self. So we're not complaining, we're singing about the beauty of the cicadas in their inimitable way, in their song out there, and we can sing about the beauty of being in a world that God gave us so much potential to do good things, and the Torah is our pathway to achieve greatness step by step. Have a wonderful, wonderful Shabbos. Thank you for listening. I'm ending the live video. Good Shabbos.